folks, trying to sweat out what's left of this cold. Man, it's been a rough cold and flu season. But you know, my friends at the Allegheny Health Network, they have that same-day appointment thing going on right now. You call in the AM, you're seen in the PM. 412 doctors love what they do. You know, whenever I tilt my hat back like this, most of you know by now, but the reason I do that, that's my tribute to the late, great Sonny Janoski. My dear friend of over a quarter of a century. I think about him all the time, but especially when we're getting this close to spring, because I can still see him riding tall in that John Deere tractor on the back 40, and now that great tradition being carried on by his son Mike and obviously the entire family. But Mike and Patty and everybody getting ready for their St. Patrick's Day sale. It's going to be March 16th through the 19th. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. And the St. Patrick's Day buffet in the Janoski's Country Restaurant. Some good eats there. As Sonny used to say, it's all good. So you be listening to News Radio 1020 KDK for details about that. Now, what am I doing tonight? I am taking with me to my friend Lou Valino's Casa de Emmanuel a little St. Patrick's Day gift, Rooney's. And if your favorite place doesn't have it, ask them to get it, because this and Jameson whiskey for St. Patrick's Day is the best way to celebrate. But we always remind you to be responsible. And you know there's Uber in your neighborhood. But we'll be at Casa de Emmanuel tonight. Later, Ted Arnaud, who's going to be on the AT&T Sports Line. We're going to be talking about the top 10 greatest Irish boxers of all time. And of course, you know, Russell Crowe, Ron Howard got together a couple of years ago and did a wonderful movie entitled Cinderella Man. Every time it's on Comcast, I have to stop and just watch a little of it with he and Renee Zellweger about one of the greatest of all time. A guy who was a 15-1 underdog in his championship bout with then-champion Max Baer, the father of the same guy, Max Baer Jr., who starred in the Beverly Hillbillies. And he went on to win the heavyweight championship, if the shoe fits, the boxing shoe that is, thus the Cinderella Man. He's got to be one of the greatest Irish fighters of all time, but you'll find out tonight. Some names you'll recognize, some you may not, but of course I think of the great Sean O'Grady, for many years a great commentator on CBS with Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy doing all those great fights as a kid growing up. So we're going to do that later tonight, Ted and I. Plus look at some of the magical moments of the NFL Combine. And of course Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of Clemson, and John Ross, 4.22 seconds, 40-yard dash, wide receiver from Washington. We're going to be talking about that as well. Now, some of the headlines that are trending today. FBI Director James Comey talked about no one can be really guaranteed absolute privacy. And he said that nothing is out of the reach of the judicial system. And I must tell you, if it's all about keeping us safer, I'm all for it. And I salute him and the FBI for what they do. And he says he's going to stay right where he is until his term is finished. All of this because of the rise of encryption since 2013's discoveries by former national security contractor Edward Snowden. That's why the world has changed as far as privacy is concerned. Now, biggest sell for President Donald Trump, this Obamacare replacement that the House is talking about. They're saying this is going to be his biggest mission yet as president. Also, irked and exasperated, the words of former President Barack Obama on allegations that the wiretapping of Donald Trump during his presidency took place. Some of those stories, of course, you'll hear throughout the day, CBS Radio News, and of course, the award-winning KDK Radio Newsroom. Don't forget my man Ed Shewak and Allison Shewak at Shewak Distributing can give you some Miller Lite. Make sure you have it at your favorite place as you watch all those Pirate games all season long, home and away. So here's to our Pirates. Speaking of the Pirates, 6-3 winners against Atlanta yesterday. It'll be an off day today, Tampa Bay on Thursday, tomorrow, and then Friday at Lecom Park at 105 Tampa Bay. You can hear that on 93.7 The Fan. Big day for our local college basketball teams. Coming up first, though, at 2 o'clock at the Barclays Center, it is second round of the ACC tournament. Duke going to try to win their first ACC title since 2011. They will take on Clemson. That's on ESPN. And then later on ESPN2, you've got the University of Pittsburgh, a number 14 seed, taking on the number 6 seed, Virginia. That on ESPN2 and from the Barclays on 93.7 The Fan. The A10 tournament at the PPG Paints Arena will have Duquesne and St. Louis tonight at 8:30. The Penguins are on the road at Winnipeg. Penguins currently in third place in the Metropolitan Division, 40-16-8, taking on Winnipeg, who is right now at 30-31-6 on the year. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a quick look at some things happening in your world. Don't forget, later tonight, the home of the best Italian cuisine anywhere, where it's made bullissimo. A beautiful thing from scratch every day with Lou Volino and his staff, Casa de Emanuele, on the historic Mulberry Street in East Liverpool, Ohio. Have a great day, everybody, and hey, keep punching.